the video in the screen does not relates to the podcast or my voice. I mean, that's just a new Roblox screenshot recording to feel the void. Hello everyone, this is Yamorini and this is the first episode of our ENF podcast where you'll just hear me saying something about the ENFP or my journey relating to the MBTI or just random stuff. And I also think it is a good podcast when I do some ASMR thing in here. So yeah, let's dive into my history relating MBTI, how I met the MBTI, how I struggle being so obsessed with it, and many more. So let's dive in when it comes to our history. Yeah, I actually encountered the Myers-Briggs type indicator year 2019. I was in my last year in senior high, and there's this teacher that we have in the personality development subject. She asked us to answer the hashtag 16 personality types and write something about the personality type that we got while answering that test. I know that that particular website is not, I mean, it's fun to answer or re-answer their questionnaires, but others says you could get mistype when you when you just answer that thing, and if ever you didn't study your cognitive function, then you could be mistyped just basing on your answer on that test. So when I do that around 2019, the personality type that I got is ENFJT. And I really think so that that's accurate. And I was like, oh, I'm like Superman. And I like that because, I mean, the reason why I think so that it's accurate is because I am literally like an ENFJ best type. Like, I like to be there for people because I need attention. I mean, ENFP do that, right? Like, they wanted to showcase their arts, their stories, their talents. ENFP do that things, right? Anyways, that's why some ENFP may have been mistyped as the ENFJ. Anyways, and also that was before when I was so trying to fit and people please, and yeah, it's been a habit back then. Back in that literal senior year. But when I am in my junior year, I am actually more of like an INFP. We'll save that story later on another podcast if ever. And yeah, as I did mention, I would like to have this recording little bit ASMR thingy. So yeah, there you have it. I'm just knocking off my table and making some sounds relating to the objects that I am swiping. Oh, it is raining, so I hope you can hear the rain stomping on a roof because we do not have ceiling. Anyways, that's just the day that I was introduced to the MBTI, but I didn't mind it because it doesn't seem to pique my interest. I think that's just a little horoscope thingy. But yeah, something of that sort. I am not interested in the MBTI stuff back then. But I always have this stuff or situation where first I don't like this thing, but after a few years, months, I will obsess over that. For example, I'm a very, 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 very diehard fan of Star Butterfly. I mean, Starburst the First of Evil, that show. And back then, when I first watched it, I was like, oh, that's a weird girl. She has heart shape in her face and looks weird, but eventually, I I got to love the show um, as I progress watching it. Yeah, I I think that's just I think it's powerful that there's something like I can't say the word. Um, hate at first sight, but eventually fall harder. Something of that sort. Okay, I'm just saying that the MBTI does not be my interest from before. Yeah, but now I was so simping, simping about the MBTI stuff, and I mean that sounds weird and creepy, I think, but yeah, it is the MBTI stuff clinging on my daily thoughts right now. But don't mind me. Yeah, don't mind me. Also, I would like to say that I'm not just an MBTI enthusiast. I'm also very much in love with other personality type theories or something that also relates to the personalities. Like, for example, human design. Of course, there's a tri-type, the enneagram, natal chart, so many more. Yeah, and even um, Chinese astrology or what they. Mm. anyways, that's weird. Actually, I do not have any script doing this, so I'm spontaneous in regards to my my storytelling in regard to this podcast. I mean, is this worth it? Do you even gain some knowledge from this podcast? I think podcast supposed to be designed like that. Like you get some knowledge or some wisdom advices, but it's just me sharing my life. I mean, my journey regarding this MBTA stuff. Okay, so fast forward to 2021. Um, 1 year after the pandemic and quarantine. Okay, 2021. My favorite humanities teacher, who was actually a friend of my old Facebook account, posted something about the MBTI. And I was curious about it again. And then we answered the hashtag for, I mean, hashtag 16 personalities.com again. And guess what? I'm still a turbulent type. But that time, I am a very cute cinnamon ENFP. Like ENFPT. And I don't know if ever the sub-letter from that website changed, but right now I am ENFPA. It's just that, anyways, I do not know. Sometimes my personality confuses me. Okay, so here's the thing. I'm an ENFP back then, and I mean, right now I'm still ENFP. It's just that I am so enamored about that personality type that I am so invested in knowing more about that personality type and the character that relates to it as well. And I would like to say that, yeah, I become so very biased when it comes to the NFP. Not because they seem very entertaining characters, but when I learned the cognitive function and the urges and energy of the NFP, where those really optimistic, motivating energy that the NFP have rooted. ENFP, they seem to be very fun and charismatic, optimistic, but they are very much aware of the world. They are intuitive and they seem to be very emotional as well. And do you know that feels when there's such emotional breakdown because this particular type is prone to that, but they still manage to get up, be strong, be resilient, or still be happy despite all the trauma or backlash or negative situation that they have gone through, right? Anyways, okay, so yeah, I'm much a I am really much patronizing the enfp. Okay, so back to the history storytelling. Around that time, 2021, when I rediscovered the MBTI and literally get interested in it, I was so messed up that time. Like, lol, yeah, the dark night of the soul when it comes to the ENFP. I experienced that around that year a lot. It also represents a very rough year for me. But being interested in hook up with the whole Myers-Briggs type indicator, it makes me alive. I mean, that sounds silly, but I'm not kidding. I was barely living well. Sorry to say it, we have INFJ shadow, and I ghosted a lot of people in my life. And I became a modern hermit from that time, and so on, even right now. But yeah, even though I am happy that I'm working and earning money at the time, I'm actually in the verge of physical breakdown. But being really interested in the MBTI, it really did keep me entertained and keep me really pumping, pumping blood or oxygen whatsoever. It's like the MBTI became my only friend around these times. I mean, this sounds dramatic and this sounds like a comedy, but this is so true. If ever, I mean, who could understand me regarding this stuff? Maybe the INFJs would understand me regarding this stuff, or some intuitive people who has hearts and feelings. It's just that right now, looking back around those events seems really silly and really funny as well. But I would like to shed a tear because it's really hard back then. And did you know that ENFP do this a lot? Like, they have this coping mechanism that is not so the usual when it comes to dealing with their problems or depression. They seem to have a creative coping mechanism, or the Lulus even can be a mechanism for them in regards to being okay. Yeah, so yeah, pretty much it. Crazily dramatic, but it's true. Maybe that's my guardian angel. If ever guardian angels exist, it could be the MBTI for me. Around those times when I am really hook up in the whole MBTI thingy, I then joined MBTI meme groups, created memes too, and even stole some or saved some to my cell phone. I learned the cognitive function, and I can't believe how that freaking resonates with me. Like, I am so astonished when it comes to connecting the function of the NFP to my life. Like, I have done that, I am like that, I do this, I do that thing, I do this thing, something that relates to me. I feel like it understands me well. Maybe that's why I consider the MBTI as a friend, really. And yeah, I'm so enjoying my time as well regarding looking at some content creators that um, share their knowledge or share some skits and stories about the MBTI. It really keeps me entertained, and they seem really um, brilliant in regards to those stuff. Because to be honest, I also have given up my dreams and creativities around that year. Again, that's a very rough year, and I really let go of some of the things that I also look up to or look forward to. And that feels when all is bland and you just have this sole interest that keeps you okay or alive at that moment. Yeah. So. I learned to cognitive function and even write that on a piece of paper, and I was so impressed by it. But I forgot where I did wrote that wrote that notes. But anyways, I am pretty much familiar with the stuff that I learned regarding my cognitive function as an ENP. Okay, so also I let my family answers MBTI tests as well as typing my whole family their MBTI types manually after I really get to know all the 16 personality type and all. Also, I have a group chat with my cousins, and I spam them with MBTI facts, memes, or even use our convo to create a meme. I also learned a lot of type identificators, like the Enneagram, the tri-types, the Shonics, and many more. But I'm also at the same time really been doing personality hunting, something of that. I don't know if ever that's the right term, because actually I'm not a native English speaker. I'm just trying my best to do sound one. I mean, this is my real voice. It's just whatever. This is so spontaneous, and it's 17 minutes now. I do not know if ever some people will listen to this. But yeah, I have myself. I can listen to this. Okay, so there I also joined MBTI related apps too. Maybe all MBTI enthusiastic people do that. I type animes, characters in every show I watch, whether on that particular app or could be just in my mind. Also, I always relate myself to the NFP. Well, because I'm one. But yeah. And yeah, as you did mention, I also became so biased to love any NFP characters unless I really hate that character. I mean, I love most NFP character, but there could be some NFP character that I don't like. Like if you know the PBD app, there's this particular character in anime. It's an adult anime, by the way. It's Domestic no Kanojo. And that older sister is an ENFP. Is that true? Is that even correct? I haven't watched that, and I'm not planning to watch that show. Because could be really adult, and I'm not an adult yet. Yeah. And I do not know if ever that's really true, because they really hate that character. And yeah, and my cousin actually shared some info about that anime, and they really hate that girl. And I was like, is that really an ENFP girl? Could be if ever they are the type of person or the type of ENFP that is so drawn to their feeling or FI. Because FI could be selfish. But yeah, I don't know if ever that's really true. But yeah, it could be that I love a lot of ENFP characters, but characters like that I don't like. Okay, so another thing heading I'm very much head in the clouds shipping MBTI characters. And as an AP, of course, at first I am so into shipping the INTJ with the NP because they really seem great, like bread and jam. But eventually, get tired of it sometimes and ship the NP to other thinking types because I really do like thinking types. Yeah, I don't care about your age. If ever I will have a relationship or a partner, I don't care about your age. I will always consider intelligence and really good thinker. Yeah, yeah. I just say that because again, this is so spontaneous. And yeah. I'm like this when I'm so happy sharing my stuff. I mean, not my physical stuff, but sharing my story because that's how we do, right? Okay, so another thing, whenever I have a story or plots, twists, I mean, whenever I have an idea for a possible storyline, I'll include their MBTI for character reference to the characters. I mean, for example, I have this girl and I would name them something and then put MBTI above their name, their MBTI. I mean, yeah, I just I just would like to share that. Okay, so that's nonsense. Okay, another thing about me regarding the MBTI journey is I also only or mostly watch shows with ENFP characters in it. Unless there's really a very interesting show that does not have any NEP but INTP or really strong funny characters in it. For example, there's no NEP in Big Bang Theory and Young Sheldon, but I watch those shows a lot because it's interesting and yeah. If ever there's no NEP in a show, I would look for the thinker types intuitively. I mean, the intuitive thinker types because they're interesting. Yay! And yeah. Um, among the four cluster in the MBTI, I think that's what they call. I mean, I think that's what they call cluster the groups. Anyways, I'm more on an analyst um, lover. Yeah, something of that sort. But I'm an ENFP bias. And I love ENFPs. Except for that girl in Domestic Girlfriend. Okay, so yeah, I don't know. I don't know if ever I get. I don't know if ever I can get bash because of this sharing thingy and opinions, but yeah, don't care about anyone. What? Okay, so again, this is spontaneous script. So spontaneous speaking. I do not have any script. Oops, that's a sleep of mine. But actually, with my hilarious words from here, I, I, I deserve to be bashed. And also, thanks to some analysts, type folks, they actually helped me in regards to becoming a better thinker. For example, I love listening to podcasts that make sense, reading books or following people that seem to have really good sense in mind. For example, I love channels like the Ensingler. I mean, Ensingler.
I do not know how to pronounce that, but yeah, I really like that because it gives me more insight and perspective about myself and the world. I also um, like Mark Manson's channel and book. Um, he's very nippy. I mean ENTP, but I appreciate that, and so happy for him in regards to his life and book. And yeah, oh my gosh, I would like to share this that sometimes even though that person have that book, not giving a sometimes I saw him debating on a comment section and citing the source, which is actually really ENTP. And whatever, I appreciate them. The daily stoics, um, camping videos with some really dialogues that seems philosophical. I mean, okay, I just share that because maybe you would like to um, dive into those channel. Yeah. Yeah, I should end this podcast right now in here. I don't think that this seemed to give you some insight, knowledge, or whatsoever. This is just a mere sharing about my stuff or the MBTI. And yeah, it's also the MBTI. It's the reason why I started this channel and other social media platforms. Like I'm I'm social media. I mean, so yeah, it's the MBTI that drove me to starting a YouTube channel like this, having an account on Instagram or on TikTok, even though of course I don't like to be on TikTok for so long until I have the urge to post something in that social space. And I'm becoming cringe and so exposed when I associate myself with MBTI. But yeah, I don't care at all. I don't care about any judgment now because uh, so yeah, I'm just saying that because I really learned a lot from a lot of analyst persons. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I will end this mini podcast in here. And maybe if ever there's some people who will comment and I mean, if ever there's such good views in regards to this video, maybe I will do another be crazy random podcast. And I plan to make this video podcast just right around 4 minutes, and it's actually 28 minutes right now. It's very hard to upload long videos on YouTube. It really takes so long. Plus, I'm using my cell phone, so it might get on fire. So yeah, last for the for the ASMR thingy. That's all, folks. That's all, everyone. Have a good day, and always know that nothing matters. But be kind and fun, anyways. Enjoy life as much as you can. Yeah. Thank you. And yeah, thank you. And hope this video podcast finds you well. Weird. That's Mayfairy voice. So yeah, next time. Hopefully there's next time.